Listen, okay? He's had better days. That much is clear. We all know this, but if you say he is anything other than flawless, you are blocked. Zabi Stein is a regal king and a sight to behold. And in breaking news, this super kitty has been released from the hospital, and he is being fostered with one of UC Davis's veterinary students. So what exactly happened and how did surgery go? It was wild. Now, fair warning, this sounds like a lot, but what is the Wonky crew if not a lot? Specifically, a lot in acting like it is a typical Tuesday. Because it is important to remember that that is how we gauge every single case, based on the individual animal's ability and desire to keep going. Zabi seems to think that this is all a walk in the park, and personally, I feel like we should maybe consider exploring other parks. But what do I know? I'm not the best gauge of reference. And why do all of these cats want to try so hard to keep living? Because they don't pay taxes in science and stuff. And probably because they don't see the dollar amount on their medical bills. Link in my bio. Help, please. Anyways, let's get into this heck of a heckin' surgery. Brace yourselves, you are not as strong as Zabi is, and would not come out the other side immediately asking for food. So, while the tissue has all been healing beautifully, our biggest worry has always been whether or not the actual skull will go necrotic. And that, my friends, would max out our spaghettio scale. So similarly to how we have to debride the necrotic skin off of the healthy tissue, we also have to debride the skull. To do this, think of it as similarly to when a farmer wants to aerate the soil by poking a whole bunch of holes into the dirt. This then creates a surface area with fresh, usable soil. In Zabi's case, they had to delicately drill tiny little holes into his skull. Talk about metal. To essentially reach the same goal and promote the best chances of healing. Then they place an additional material similar to a graft between the skull and the skin graft. It was called something foam. Sadly, I don't remember. I'm not a vet, despite popular belief. That is why I go to so many. But the cool part about this is that they soak that material in his own blood to help the body better accept it. Then, utilizing his own skin from behind his ear and down his neck, they made the skin graft. But this is where Zabi became Zabi Stein. It still was not really the most ideal tissue to be working with in this moment. So, to give it the best chance of healing, they did hundreds of tiny sutures of all different techniques. His eyes did go a little bit rogue, as this is a lot on the body and it is responding in which is reasonable, but thankfully Zabi is not in as much discomfort as he appears to be, because I know this looks awful. It looks bad, okay? He is not down to party just yet. You know who he does look better than, though? Your mom. So now that he has a graft covering it, how will we know if the bone is going necrotic? Great observation. Well, this is where we wonky wing it. If we get through the next 2 weeks and he heals, the body has accepted it. The skull has healed. If not, it rejects it. We're gonna focus on option 1. And that's why we are so grateful that his foster home for the next 2 weeks while he goes through this is a vet student at the hospital. Thank you, Angelica. And thank you to the whole team at UC Davis and to each and every one of you guys that is making this financially possible. You guys are who add the beauty to their stories and who give their stories voices to be told and give future cases hope and possibilities. Zabi's story might be hard to hear, but it is one that deserves to be told. And what are we not gonna do today, fam? We're not gonna die. The ancient proverbs.